Hello and thanks for joining us here on sportstonightlive.com. Of course, we are midway through a World Cup. We've got some great news to talk about. Well, not great news, but certainly some big news. Luis Suarez, the bite, will be putting our opinions across about that. Roy Hodgson, is he still the man for the job, or are there players that need to be sacked out of that team and rejigged for England's next campaign? Talking about these big topics today, I'm joined by Mac in the middle. Separates two QPR fans. I've got Zach here on the left and Peter on the right. Now, if you're actually wondering who these people are, you know, you've just turned on your screens, you think, well, who is this bunch of people? They're simply down-to-earth football fans. If you want to get involved, you can tweet Sports Tonight Live and you could get yourself on this show giving your opinions on your favourite club, give your opinions on England. I'm sure you've all got some, given what's happened in this World Cup. Well, the big thing that has happened in this World Cup, where do we start? It's Luis Suarez, isn't it? Talk to me about this ban.
Well, I just couldn't believe it. You know, watching the game yesterday.
Right, in fact, let's talk about the incident. Yeah, talk me through the incident. It's quite remarkable, really, isn't it?
It's just strange because, you know, we're watching the game that he'd gone down. You know, first it looked like he attempted to headbutt Chiellini, and then obviously he goes down. And then
so, I mean, immediately in real time, you saw the movement of the head towards him.
That's what we thought it was, and then you just sort
of... What gave it away was the fact that as soon as he's down on the floor, he clutches the teeth as if to say he's barged into my bite or
someone's
like that.
Or someone's elbow.
Yeah,
as if he's elbowed him.
Yeah, it's just what I don't get is.
So I mean, look. So on the instant, Luis Suarez's quote is, "These are just things that happen out on the pitch. It was just the two of us inside the area, and he bumped into me with his shoulder." So this is, I mean, this is a complete lie, isn't it?
That's absurd. These things it's not like every day you see someone go bite someone on the pitch, and plus it's not like as if he's making it as if it's a daily part of life. If I went and bit someone on the street, I would probably get arrested.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so on. So you'd get arrested on the street. Now, in terms of football,
but why? But hold on a second. Why should the ban affect Liverpool? You've all gone quiet on that. I mean, it affects Liverpool.
Yeah, but he's done it for Liverpool as well.
No, he's done it for Liverpool, but he was banned for Liverpool. What I'm saying is this is a national stage. He's done it for Uruguay. He then gets banned for 4 months and he misses, what? How many games is it, Zach? 9 games, is it?
Well, it's 9 for Uruguay.
And how many for Liverpool?
Well, it's the first 9 games of the season for Liverpool.
Okay.
So it's a big hit for
Liverpool
to take.
Yeah, but why?
Well, the ban at the moment is a 4-month ban, isn't it? So it's not a particular amount of games. So, because he doesn't just miss Premier League, is it just everything, including Champions League?
Yeah, he's not allowed to set foot in the football stadium
for 4 months. He's banned from the footballing industry, if you like.
All footballing activities, basically. So yeah.
I mean, of course, at least 5
but why
weeks.
Should Liverpool? The point is, why
should
Liverpool? Well, you know, when it happened to Liverpool, he didn't stop playing for Uruguay.
So what you're saying? You think he's too harsh? They've gone too harsh.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they've gone too soft. It should have been at least a 6-month ban.
Why?
He's done it 3rd time. He's done it once. He got a 8-game ban for Ajax and Bakar. He's done it again to Ivanovic. He got a 10-game ban for that. If you give him a measly ban, he's never going to learn, is he? A 6-month ban should have sufficed.
Yeah, but when he was banned from Ajax, did he get stopped for playing for Uruguay?
No, but
no. That's the point. I don't mind. What I'm trying to say is here.
Yeah, but he's done it on the world stage.
I know he's done it on the world stage, and I take the point that what he did, and we'll go on to hopefully. You know, a bite in comparison to a 2-footed tackle or spitting in someone's face or whatever it might be. We can compare it maybe a little bit later on. But the point is, Tom, Liverpool should not be affected by what happened. That's the point. Uruguay, as a nation, will now suffer and probably get beat by Colombia.
I'm going to come to you on this one, Zach. But Liverpool, of course, with a player like Suarez, they have to take into consideration that there's a risk element involved in having Suarez playing in your shirt, of course, not playing a Liverpool shirt on this occasion, but he's a member of the club. Should Liverpool have to suffer?
I think, you know, there's been the baggage with him in the past, you know, with the Patrice Evra incident and obviously the biting with Ivanovic. Obviously, when an incident...
But again, Zach, when he beat Ivanovic, he didn't get banned from international football.
No, and I'm making the point here, but still, when he behaves like this, as an employee of Liverpool Football Club, they still have...
And not only
to act, because if he's acting like this... It puts Liverpool in a bad light.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, I know he did it for Uruguay, but he's still an employee of their football club.
Would it stop? Would it stop Real Madrid or Barcelona going for him. I mean,
No.
Barcelona maybe not because they've got Neymar and they've got Messi.
With the
But
ban,
would
it might
Real-
stop them going for him
would
this
would
summer.
it stop Real Madrid going for
No, not really.
Suarez?
If Real Madrid want him, they'll get him.
If the-
And plus,
Absolutely.
they're
Still a
looking to
chance,
get rid of Benzema, so it won't stop them.
It won't stop them.
Let me pose you this question then, okay? In terms of the Luis Suarez ban, Peter's potentially saying it is too harsh. You know, why does he have to be banned for Liverpool? Well,
That's the point.
But that's the point you're trying to make, sure. But in terms of the image that this player gives off in football, should he not be he shouldn't be seen on a football pitch for 4 months for the fact that he's representing someone that can get back into football, despite the fact he's bitten someone for the 3rd time. I think we've got to look at it's a 4-month ban to keep him away from the football industry because he's a bad representation. No.
Exactly. He's not. Footballers are nowadays most likely seen as role models. So if he's going out biting people and still coming back onto the field of play and not learning the lesson, it's not setting off the right example. It's like you can bite someone and you can still play football, or you can have.
This is not an Evander Holyfield kind of bite, is it? A Mike Tyson kind of bite on Evander Holyfield. This tooth mark will have gone today.
Somebody said the tooth marks, or at least Uruguay were trying to put the point across that they've been digitally enhanced. Now that's a joke, isn't it?
That's a joke.
That
clutching at straws. That's clutching at straws.
That aspect is a joke, but the point I'm trying to make is we know it's. I mean, I feel sorry for him. I do feel sorry for Suarez. There's something about great players that they have this idea, in their brains. It just triggers something of Zidane, Eric Cantona's another example. When he just ran off the pitch and started commanding a kid in a Crystal Palace fan.
So can I throw this point to you, Pete? You're talking about the ban. If the ban was banned more games for Uruguay, would you agree with that?
I think it should just be simply a 4 or 5 month ban or 6 to 8 game ban for Uruguay.
Because
let's look at it from the other side of the coin, right? When Uruguay played England, he was delighted in the dressing room. He was given a video diary of the fact that he'd beaten England. Now in Uruguay, at that point, he was treated like a god and probably still is. Now, I'd love to know the way the Uruguayans feel about him in that nation, because if Uruguay get beat by Colombia, they will then turn on him. So he's suffering from that point of view, knowing that his nation has not progressed because of that.
Well,
whether they get blame FIFA. They're just going to blame FIFA.
But they won't. Even, Uruguay fans won't, will they?
They probably will. They'll say they're banned. FIFA's.
You think it's a Liverpool scenario where Liverpool fans all became very defensive?
Yeah. When they start blaming the FA like that, they're just going to blame the authorities rather than Luis Suarez himself. Because Luis Suarez has so many misdemeanors. They didn't blame him when he done that handball.
But he will fit. What I'm saying is, it's like, for me, the punishment's got to fit the crime, and I strongly feel that he should have got maybe a 6 to 8 game ban for Uruguay. He would suffer anyway because Uruguay now are going to not progress probably against Colombia. He's their star man. But what I have a problem with is the fact that his ban affects Liverpool. Liverpool have done nothing in this instance, and he, in all fairness, he played the whole season in Liverpool without any problems.
Just to jump in there, because of course you said when Uruguay turn up against Colombia, it's quite likely you think they're going to get beat without Suarez. But was there not something that was leaked that Uruguay may boycott the game?
Well, it was through. We can't name the source through.
No, of course you can. Go ahead.
Get Stan Collymore.
No, okay. All right.
Name and shame.
I don't think you want us to.
No, if they're coming out,
it was because Stan Collymore posted on his Twitter earlier that sources in South America were saying about Uruguay considering boycotting the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just throws the whole tournament into disarray, doesn't it?
In which case, England might have another shot at getting back
Colombia
in there.
won't.
Well, Italy finished above England, didn't they?
Uruguay won't boycott the game because it would probably lead to the fact that Uruguay won't be able to play for 2 years in any competition, so they won't do that. It's just a threat.
No. But putting the threat there in the first place doesn't help, does it?
If that's the case.
If it is true and these reports are putting a threat, it still doesn't hold Uruguay in a good light, does it?
No, it doesn't.
They don't really care.
I mean, punishment aside, I do find it quite interesting how clubs and nations back their player when they know they're entirely in the wrong. We had the same case with Liverpool, and Kenny Dalglish never had a bad word to say about Suarez, did he? And we're having the same here with the Uruguayan manager, who's not come out and criticised Suarez. And it would make a change in a little way if the managers did come out and say...
Well, that's their job, isn't it, to keep them in line and punish for wrongdoings like this. Let's talk about, I was going to say, Pete, if you were on the panel for the appeal that's going to be made by the Uruguayans? I mean, they would want you making the decision, wouldn't they? Quite lenient yourself. Not you, Mac, of course. You're going to be... No, of course
He's a
not.
Man City fan.
He'd be legging the ban, but...
What's that got to do with
I mean,
anything?
Well, he doesn't want Suarez to play against Man City. In the
Oh,
Yeah, but he hasn't done
and
it
it may
against
also
Man City.
damage QPR's title hopes, I suppose,
Well,
as well.
yeah.
But no, what I was going to say is there any point in Uruguay appealing this? Will they get anywhere with it?
No,
No.
it's just probably going to be a frivolous appeal.
It's just going to
And
drag
they'll
on, isn't it?
increase. The ban's probably going to increase if they appeal.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, it's really thrown a spanner in the works for the World Cup likelies. You know, Uruguay, really their chances seem defeated. Are they a one-man team, is what we're saying then?
They got good players like Cavani and
Yeah,
who can lead the
Cavani's
line.
played really well against
But when they
England.
turned up against, against Costa Rica without Suarez, they were nothing. So
Yeah.
is that a pattern that can be followed, do you think?
That might have been one-off game.
Well,
to be
you
fair.
certainly, in Colombia, will fancy their chances a lot more now. You obviously can't forget that Colombia did well. Colombia missing a top striker of their own.
Yeah.
Falcao, he got injured and missed the tournament. So, unfortunately, this game...
They've learned how to deal with that.
They've
though, is what
learned
we
with it.
feel.
They're dark
Have
horses,
Uruguay
though.
learned... Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing before this tournament, Uruguay's plans were centred around Suarez. If Suarez wasn't on the pitch last week, would Uruguay have won that game in England?
Which is what gets me is what takes someone that far to do that bite. Because, I mean, he'd been injured in the last game of the season, didn't manage to get back for the Costa Rica game, as we know, and many players with that long-term, not long-term knee injury, but he'd been out for some time, goes straight into the England game and knocks England out of the World Cup.
He wasn't even 100% fit.
No, and he's world class.
So it's laughable, really, then, the England situation.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're going to come on to in the next part is the way that England have failed, really in this World Cup. Whether that's down to Roy Hodgson, whether that's down to nameable players. I'm sure you've got a few that you want to pick out. Okay, Steven Gerrard, why?
He's the captain. He never led in either game. He got outclassed by Andrea Pirlo.
But most players do get outclassed by
he got
Pirlo.
totally dominated. It was like man against boy. He totally got dominated there. In the Uruguay game, it was his header that led to the Suarez chance. He never really took any game by the scruff of the neck. He never really done his job as a captain.
And so who would you replace him with? Is the question marks that would be
captain.
dinging.
There's not a lot of real contenders, is there?
Okay.
There's no... Because the likelihood... Well, we don't know for sure, but, there's obviously the speculation that this was Gerrard and Lampard's last tournament for England, your captain and vice-captain. But you got to look at, going forward, who's going to be, main fixtures in the team.
Barkley?
Joe Hart.
No, sorry. In the
Joe
centre
Hart,
midfield
Joe
position.
Hart, I would suspect would get the captaincy if
Yeah.
Gerrard.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I
the
mean,
only-
'cause-
and then obviously you've got the Capello route of taking Rooney as captain. That's if indeed Rooney carries on as well, which I presume he will do.
He will do.
The big question is whether Gerrard resigns or not. That's the big question.
But I mean, you obviously said Joe Hart, yes, in terms of taking the captaincy, but a centre midfield position.
Ross Barkley, Jack Wilshere, Jordan Henderson.
both
These
a
are
bit
all
young yet,
they're all
aren't they?
attacking. They're all attacking midfielders though.
Henderson's
Where's your
more
holding
central.
player? You're losing
Henderson's more
Lampard.
holding.
Yeah, I know, but you're losing Lampard. You're losing Gerrard. Would you say Henderson is the best we've got
Not the best we've got, but
in that position?
I
in front of the
can
back
throw
four?
Cleverly in there.
But why can't you throw Cleverly in there?
he's not good enough.
But again, he's
So
young.
again, you're putting your Man City hat on here. Why
That's
is
not
it-
my Man City hat. Cleverly could probably get into under 16s side from the local park if he wanted to.
Well, I mean, you'll have a chance to keep that Man City hat on a little bit later in the show, and yourselves, get your QPR scarves wrapped round, because we'll be, talking about the build-up to the Premier League. After break, we're going to talk a little bit more about England's failings. So I don't know, again, whether you want to pick. You've pinned it all on Gerrard. I don't know where you're going to be pinning it.
Roy Hodgson.
Are you going to be pinning it all on Roy Hodgson? And where are you going to be pinning it?
I think, blame's got to be
Physio that
shared.
broke his ankle?
No, I think physio's got... not physio. Blame has got to be shared between players and management.
Okay. All right, well, there's one view on it. Sitting on the fence is how it looks at the moment there from Zach. If you're sitting on the fence, or if you've got a strong opinion on why England have failed in this World Cup, tweet us at Sports Tonight and let us know exactly why you think England have failed. If you've got a view on the Suarez one as well, whether he should have been given longer or a shorter ban, we must know that. Should he be allowed to play in the Liverpool shirt? Should he just be banned from the sky blue of Uruguay? We'll leave that one up to you again. Tweet us in with your views. As I say, coming up, we're going to be talking about England's failings and Further to that, we're going to be talking about the Premier League contenders, the Premier League middle-of-the-road mid-tablers, and also who is going to get relegated this year. Some of the boys are going to be putting up their best bets as well for managers. Who's the first manager going to be sacked and who's the first manager to be signed? Join us after this very short break.